Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another Ratchet teardown. But before we start, could you do me a favor and please like, share, and subscribe? Yeah, that would really help me out a lot. Okay, today we have a Westline Ratchet by Western Auto Supply. Western Auto was a retailer, a big retailer of auto parts and consequently tools also. They had lines called Westcraft and Wizard, and I'm not sure where they were located mostly, but I know they had a lot of stores. But I'm from the Northeast and I didn't really see that many. I don't remember seeing any Western Auto Supplies in the Northeast when I was a kid. But Westline was one of their tool lines also. But these tools were made by excuse me. These tools were made by Indestro for Western Auto Supply. So they were just rebranded in whichever line they were doing at the time. This one is their Westline line. And like I said, they had other lines: Westcraft, Western Craft, Wizard. So here's a look at the Ratchet. It's a half inch drive. It's the profile. It's the switch. Okay, let's open it up. There's two screws holding it in, holding the retention plate. Just push the plate out. Here's the plate. It's a thick plate. It's good size, good weight. Looks pretty sturdy. You see the engraving, Westline, USA. I know Indestro had their own line also, and they would put Indestro here and USA. They had their own version of the same Ratchet. Okay, here's the gear. Oop. Well, let me take out the pawl because it's about to shoot out. Okay. It's the pawl and the ball and the spring underneath the ball and the little switch. The little switch, you see it popped out there because I already loosened it up. Because when I got this switch was already loose a little bit, so I figured I'd take it out for the sake of this breakdown, so I can totally break this down, and I'll peen it better when I put this back together later on. Now here's the gear. I think there's 32 on this gear. That's what they look like. It's the ball detent. This one feels pretty sturdy, pretty stiff. It's hard to press. This looks well machined. Doesn't look too bad. It's a pretty heavy piece too. Okay, here's the pawl. It's like a bat wing pawl you would see in a lot of similar ratchets. There's the switch protrusion. The switch just goes on there. It goes on there like that, and you would take like a small ball hammer and hit it around the edges to pin it in place. It's a 2-tooth pawl. Looks like these parts were chromed. I'm not sure what type of plating were on them, but they do look like some sort of plating was used. Here's the ball. The ball is pretty big. I don't see many balls this big in ratchets, so that was kind of a surprise. And the spring is kind of wide also for the, I guess, to accommodate how wide the ball is. Okay, and here's the inside of the head. Looks pretty neat. It's like well machined. Not ratty at all. Looks pretty clean. There's the big hole for the spring in the ball. Okay, to put this back together, take the spring, place it in the hole. Okay, this could be a little tricky because this spring protrudes out a lot, so it wants to fling the ball all the way across the room. See if I get it in there. I can hold it down with this screwdriver. And take the ball, place it in there. Okay, when you place the ball in there, you hold it down, because that ball is gonna wanna move that paw up and out. Okay, now I take the switch, I put the switch there. I still hold the paw down because the switch is loose. It might just come off and the paw might just get shoved up and the ball might go flying. So I take the gear and I put it in there to hold everything down. Okay. All right. This is what the mechanism looks like without the plate. This is how it ratchets. take your retention plate, you put it in place there. You take your machine screws, and you just screw them in. There, you test it out. And if you broke it down this much, you know, you'd have to pin the switch in place. Get like a small ball hammer and tap it around till it's pretty secure there. And that's about it. That's how you break down the Westline USA Ratchet from Western Auto Supply. Okay, so long.